during the Avery Lumber sponsor time. Avery Lumber is based out of Mount City. They're right there on Main Street, 411 Main Street in Mount City. They are your full line of lumber, along with aspects of all the building. They specialize in division, dimension, and treated lumber, and they provide a wide range of concrete products and extensive plumbing department. There we go. And so they are open Monday through Fridays and then on Saturdays too. So sorry about that. My phone's going off. So, okay. Avery Lumber is our sponsor, but you are a 4-H member, right? Okay, so tell us who you are, what 4-H club you are part of, and then we'll go from there. Okay, my name is Juley Martin. I am from the Bourbon County 4-H Club. Okay, and how old are you? I'm 9. You're 9, okay, and what did you bring to the fair this year? I bring my steer, horse, and a rabbit. Now, I saw a picture of your steer, and I heard it was the biggest, heaviest steer at the fair this year. Is that a good thing? Yes. Yes? And why was he so big? We fed him a lot. You fed, we as in you? Me and my sister. There you go. There you go. Now, as someone that was not a 4-H participant, can your steer get too heavy when it comes to the judging? Do you know? I don't know. How'd you do? What did he get? Did you guys get a ribbon? What ribbon did you get? I got purple and a blue. Yeah, okay. Purple and a blue, okay. So, and then you brought a steer, and what else did you bring? A rabbit. A rabbit, and how did it do? It did really good for me. It did? Okay. It did harder, because you always see the rabbits, and they're laying on those cold, frozen water bottles with this heat. Are they a lot more temperamental than the steer during this hot weather? Yes. Yes, they are. And how come? Is this the way they are? I feel like they just have more fur on them, kind of like this lost in their big ears. Okay. Kind of. Now, is your rabbit a pet? Yes. Yes. How long have you had it? I've had it for 4 years. For 4 years. And what's her name? Mocha. Mocha. Is she chocolate covered then? Kind of that blackish brown? She's a chocolate stuff. There you go. Well, and that just sounds like mocha, doesn't it? Chocolate. Yeah. There you go. What else? What's the best thing about coming to the Bourbon County Fair? As a 4-H participant, you get to be in the show, and there's a bunch of people watching you, and you never know what the animal's going to do for you. Like with my steer, you never know if he's going to start getting nervous and run on you. There you go. He tried. He tried to run on you? Yeah. Are you strong enough, or you worked with him enough that he halfway minded you? A little bit of both? Yeah. Yeah. What do you, when does school start? Are you guys get to have a vacation after the fair's over? You get to go do anything and before school starts, or what do you got going on the rest of the summer? My mom is going to let us the week before fair. She said, school. She said we might be able to go to a zoo in Great Wolf Lodge. Go where? Great Wolf Lodge. Great Wolf Lodge. Okay, and so you're going to Kansas City. I've never been to Great Wolf Lodge. I've seen pictures. Have you been there before? Yes. They have a swimming pool and stuff, don't they? Yeah, they have a swimming pool, some gift shops. Mm-hmm. And in the rooms, they have these little, caves with bunk beds in them. So in some of the rooms, do the folks throw you into the cave so they don't have to deal with you? Well, in the bunk bed here. Where the bunk beds are. Yeah. But that makes it cool, though, right? To sleep in that. So that's pretty neat. So that'll be fun. Will you go for a couple days or just overnight type of thing? Usually stay somewhere for at least 3 or 4 days. Well, there you go. So it's a nice vacation. Who takes care of the animals and stuff while you guys are gone? You got somebody come in that Because you'll have to have somebody take care of your rabbit, and obviously your steer, you'll sell it, right, on Friday? Yeah. That's tomorrow, I guess, isn't it? It's crazy. It's already Thursday. We have our cousin for us. Okay. So it makes it nice to have some family around to help watch the house and the animals and everything else. So, do they let you drive to Kansas City? Not me, but my parents. Well, yeah. Well, you'll be driving before you know. You probably can already drive. I used to tell my dad to laugh and drive it. Have you gotten too big to do that? Yeah, he won't. Well, you probably try to drive too fast, unless he doesn't let you run the gas pedal. Yeah, he runs it. Yeah, his legs are longer, I think. So. Do you have, at home, do you have like a little ATV or a horse or anything that you can drive out a little? I know that's not the same as a horse. Do you have a horse at home? Yes. Yeah. Do you like to ride? Yes. Do they let you do that by yourself, or do you have to have somebody go with you all the time? My mom usually sits there and watches us. There you go. There you go. So, what else? What else? What do you got going on tomorrow? Tomorrow we're gonna, in the evening I think it is, we're gonna sell our steers. People are going to be bidding on them. Mm-hmm. And if you want to sell a steer, it's $1 per pound at the fairgrounds. So that's pretty cool that you already know that. Why would you know about the auction? Do you know do you have family members that are part of the auction? Yeah. Our grandpa's the auctioneer. And who is that? Larry. I know who you are, but not everybody knows who you are. So Larry who? Larry Martin. Larry Martin, and yes. So he has been the auctioneer for as long as I can remember, right? So yeah. So longer than you've been alive. Maybe even longer than I've been alive. Who knows? There you go. If kids are thinking about joining 4-H, what would you tell them? It's a fun place, and it's on the hottest days of the summer. And it feels like it does always feel like it. It seems like every fair is super hot, isn't it? Yeah. Does that matter? Does it even bother you that it's hot? It doesn't bother me that much, but I need a lot of water. Oh, you need it. Well, we all do, though. When it's 100 degrees, you got to drink your water, and you got to take care of your animals, so you kind of get to stay cool when you're watering them, right? Yeah. Do you guys get water fights over there by the hoses sometimes? Yes. Yes. Do you guys get in trouble by the parents? No. No? They don't get on to you? Probably when it's always 100 degrees, though, then it makes a huge difference. Probably if it wasn't super hot, they wouldn't be getting on to you. Probably. So when does school start? Do you go to school at Uniontown? Yes. Yes. And what grade are you going into? Fourth. Do you already know who your teacher's going to be? No. Have you got to go clothes shopping for school? No. Do you like to do that? Yes. Yes. Does Mom let you pick out what you like to wear, or is it just always jeans and T-shirts? My mom lets me pick what I want to wear. Well, that's good. Well, that's not a bad thing. So, you probably have cheaper taste than your sister, though, right? Since you're younger, do you have expensive taste in clothes? No? No. Well, what else do you want to talk about? We could talk about, like, my hobbies. Okay, you tell me about your hobbies. You just talk. Okay. You've got the whole audience for the listeners at 98.3 FM. I love talking, and my sister gets mad at me because I won't shut up. Well, you're not very chatty here, so you just keep talking. Avery Lumber is our sponsor, and they have a lumber yard in Mound City, and they are sponsoring us to talk to you. So all we have to do is continue to mention Avery Lumber occasionally, and you can talk about whatever you want to talk about. Well, even if it's 100 degrees, I always walk or ride a four-wheeler out to my pond and fish. You like to fish? Yes. So can you, obviously, what kind of fish do you usually like to fish for? Well, the main fish we always catch are bass and crappie. Okay. So what kind of jigs do you like to use? What's the right color right now? Right now? I haven't been fishing for probably a month. I don't really know. You put one on and you put it on, and then if you start getting lucky, that's the color, right? That's kind of the way I do too. Yeah. Do you know how to do the top water jigs? Are you good at that yet? Pretty much, yes. Because like this time of year when the water starts getting a little low, those work pretty good, don't they? If you pond multi? Yeah. Yeah. Do you take your own fish off, I'm assuming? I learned a couple last year. Yeah. What do you have the open face reel, or what kind of rod and reel do you use? I don't have one of those reels. I have a reel where the line is covered. Okay. Yeah, you know what? I like to use those too, because then you have less to worry about, don't you? But yeah, my dad uses one way to kill the time. Yeah, there you go. That's all right. You hold them upside down, and I don't really like it that way. You have to put a finger on the line. You just want to catch a fish, don't you? Yeah. That's what I like to do too. Do you like to eat them? Yeah. Has Dad taught you how to clean the fish and do all of that so that you can eat them? No. The main thing he has me do is just go inside, get a full of water, bring it out. So you have to go get all the supplies and take care of that. Now, does he do his own cleanup, or do you have to do the cleanup for him? He does his own cleanup. Well, that's okay. That's not a bad thing. So now, have you, with all the fishing that you've been doing this summer, have you been able to put some back in the freezer, or do you just eat them as you go? Well, I haven't been fishing that much. Well, you've been getting ready for the fair. Yeah. And it's been really hot, and I usually get the most luck when I'm with my dad fishing, usually. There you go. So, well, let's go back to the fair just a minute. So you like fishing. When you get in high school, do you think will you participate in FFA? Yeah. Yeah. And the fair itself and being in 4-H, how many people are in your 4-H group there in Uniontown? Do you have quite a few numbers? I have a couple friends in there. Are they mostly your age, or they're older kids? Because I was talking to some of the kids from the Hammond group, and they have just a few older kids and lots of little kids and just a few in the middle, like your sister's age, middle age. We have a few in the middle and a few that are like in high school or last year. Yes, we talked to Gwen today. She was already on today, so that she's in your group, right? Yeah. So is she pretty good help? Yes. Do you think that's one of the fun things about meeting for 4-H is getting to see everybody and learning from them? Yeah. So what are some of the things that you've learned? Well, I've learned that deer have 4 compartments in their stomach. Okay. I did not know that. And above the ribs is their loin. Mm-hmm. And they taste good. Yeah. Yes. I'm teasing you. It's true. It does taste good. That's where you get your steak. Yes, it is. Is it? Now, do you have to help down at the sale barn some? Or do you just hang around? I don't have to, but I like to. There you go. I'll do like the checks and I'll clean up after the sale. I don't clean inside there. There you go. Clean up and pick up all this food. Well, that helps. But it is a family business, right? Yeah. So your family. Yeah. Do you get paid for anything? I get paid for doing checks and cleaning up stairs and sometimes cleaning the playroom. There you go. So you do get, well, that's good. What do you do with your money? You go buy stuff to go fishing? No. No? You got savings? Sometimes, well, I've been saving and then I spent some money. Mm-hmm. I had my eye on a goat when people went, we were going to look at goats and stuff to buy. But my mom said I can't buy one unless I buy with my own money. Okay. Well, that would be something new and different, though, having a goat, right? Yeah. Yeah. We showed pigs one year, but I never did it because I was still a baby. And my dad said, never again. There you go. Well, you guys are kind of a cattle family, so that's probably stick with what you know, maybe? Hey, we're going to take a quick break, okay? And when we come back, we can let your sister visit. But we want to thank Avery Lumber for sponsoring our time out here at the Bourbon County Fair as we get to visit with some of the 4-H kids and stuff. But Avery Lumber, they're based there in Mount City, right there on the main drag. They are a full-line lumber yard, and they do deliveries in all areas here into Bourbon County, Fort Scott, and the surrounding areas. So Mike is...
Blinking cursor. Every blank page is an opportunity. What will you do with it? Will you make something better or create something new? Our Dell Technologies advisors provide you with tools and expertise to do incredible things. Because we believe there's an innovator in all of us. For advice on smart PCs powered by Intel V Pro that's built for business, call a Dell Technologies advisor at 877-ASK-DELL.
Inflation is skyrocketing. Violent crime is through the roof. Our police are being defunded. The radical left has brought pain and misery to our nation. And now, here in Kansas, they're spending millions lying to you about the Value Them Both amendment. The press calls the no ads deceptive and dangerous. The radical left opposes Value Them Both because they want unlimited abortion in Kansas, right up until the moment of birth. The Kansas City Star admits Kansas could see a 1,000% increase in abortions.
On August 2nd, you can stop the radical left by voting yes on Value Them Both. Voting yes will ensure we have common sense abortion limits in Kansas, like limiting painful late-term abortions and protecting your tax dollars from paying for abortions. On August 2nd, please vote yes on Value Them Both. Yes to restore common sense abortion limits. Paid for by Value Them Both. Juley Samaniego, Treasurer.
Our promise to you, the best red dirt and country classics this side of the Oklahoma border. 98.3 FM.
And welcome back to 98.3 Cowboy Country. We're going to send it back to Dina. It can be live from the Bourbon County Fairgrounds.
Hey, thanks, Jordan. We are super excited to be here. We're going to continue some interviews with some of our 4-H kids, but we want to thank Avery Lumber before we go too far. Avery Lumber, they're based out of Mount City at 411 Main Street. They're a family-owned business, and they are full-line lumber. They have all aspects for building. They specialize in dimension and treated lumber, and they also provide a wide arrangement of concrete products and other extensive plumbing department, too. So they're just like about everywhere else. They've got just a little bit of everything, and they have lots of answers to any of the questions you might bring in. So building supplies up to paints and all that kind of stuff. So check out Avery Lumber there in Mount City. And we are sitting down with Katie Martin, and so she is the older sister of our last interviewee. So Katie, give us a little bit of information about what club you're in, and obviously, and then what you brought to the fair this year.
I'm in Hyattville 4-H Club, and I brought a rabbit and a steer.
A rabbit and a steer. And tell us a little bit about how you did.
I did really good with my rabbit, Coco. He got a blue, a purple, and a grand champion with a flat.
And how did your steer do?
He did really good. He got 2 blues, but he did freak out a few times.
Uh-oh. Do they get a little temperamental with the hot weather? Do they not want to mind quite as much? I don't know.
But see, they don't want to move, or they just run away from you.
There you go. Well, and we know that when the temperature is hot, everybody gets a little grumpy. So animals are kind of the same way. So, do you guys spend the whole? Do you guys camp here during the week, or do you guys drive back and forth?
Back to our cousin's camp. So.
There you go. So, do you feel like you get excited when it gets close to fair week, or you're excited just to get your stuff done because you've worked so hard and you're ready to be finished?
I get excited, yeah. I don't really want it to end.
There you go. Now, as soon as, obviously, they have the auction tomorrow at 9, and that starts at 7. So once you get your animals sold, are you already thinking about what you want to do for next year?
Once we get my steer Shrek sold, well, I think I might want to buy one petite tiny cat that's being shown.
There you go. So, and is that, do a lot of kids do that? Do you like looking to see at some of the smaller stuff and starting over? And
I know one person who bought my friend's steers, and they're showing him as an older steer, and they're going to sell him.
There you go. And do you think that helps because you know the rest of the families and know those animals already that, hey, this is something that's going to do well for us for the following year?
Especially since that animal already did it 1 year. I kind of remember it.
So do you, when it comes time to get to choose and pick what you're going to purchase, do you take insight from your folks, or is it you kind of get to choose what you want to do, and do you feel like you have a good background knowledge on what's going to do well?
My dad usually just buys whatever calf looks the best.
There you go. And he has some knowledge, right?
Yeah.
There you go. So do you ever get a say on that, or is Dad like, no, this is the one that's going to do the best?
So I got an say in getting rid of my first super got better track.
Well, there you go. So you do get a little bit of say, and they listen. Sometimes they don't always hear or they hear, but they don't always listen. I don't know. So that's the way it is sometimes. Talking about the 4-H and being a part of the club, do you recommend that the kids maybe that are looking for something extra to do, or just a great way to learn about stuff that they may not necessarily, because there's more to 4-H than just the animals and just the country stuff. Give us an indication of some of the things that you learned in 4-H that you probably would have never known if you hadn't been part of it.
I learned a lot how to properly handle animals and like what they don't like and what they do.
Now, when you guys learn that kind of stuff, is that more of a hands-on as you're taking care of your animals, or do some of the older kids kind of help you and talk about stuff during meetings? Both. Well, and that's good though. Will you, as your older kids graduate and leave and stuff, and the rest of you kind of move up, is there ever a void when you lose some of those really good leaders that are older?
Yeah, because most people miss Christy and Gwen a lot.
Yeah, and she told me though that just if this makes you feel better, she was, oh, it'll be nice to come back next year and I'll just be able to watch and I can help my brother. So she'll be here next year. So if she's not, you guys can hold that against her or tell her to come out for sure. Now, those kids that maybe are thinking about 4-H, what are some of the things that you've learned besides taking care of animals that helps you, whether in just life or in school?
I learned that you really, really have to listen really good and listen to the animal's body motions and other people's body motions, because you might be doing something wrong.
There you go. Well, and you guys, though, where you live out on a farm and you have other animals too, do you think that because of that, do you think that being kind to animals helps you to be better with people too?
Yeah.
So, well, and some people, it's just, they make life difficult, don't they? So, what grade are you going to be in for school? Eighth grade. So, are you excited for school to start back up?
I don't know.
So, do you do sports in the school year, or you just
cross country? I don't know about the track again.
There you go. So, well, it gets pretty busy probably in the spring when you're getting ready for the fair, because you guys are always doing something. Now, what do you have to do when you're getting ready with a rabbit? What do you have to do to help them get ready? Just take good care of them and feed them or is there any grooming aspects to get them ready for the judging?
You kind of have to do everything with them. Train them, brush them, feed them, whatever.
And train them is just them getting used to you touching them and moving them? Is that how that works for somebody that's never dealt with rabbits?
Yeah, especially if they're really young.
Yeah.
Trainers.
Now, is it true that rabbits are pretty temperamental with their health issues? Because it doesn't take much for them to get sick, and then once they're sick, it's kind of hard to get them over. Is that really that way?
Yeah.
So when it gets hot like this, is there any telltale signs of what you need to do, or you need to do more to take care of them, or is it just you just hope for the best?
Mm-hmm. Because they're panting a lot, or really, really heavy, or just don't want to do anything. So you can give them frozen bottles and cage fans.
There you go. There you go. So you're gonna do steer again next year. You'll probably bring a rabbit too. Do you do any of the other projects outside of anything other than animals, or is that mainly what you guys focus on?
Some side things I like to do is like bring paintings for pictures, but I didn't do that this year.
There you go. Will you make time to do that next year, or you try to anyway? So, do you like to do that kind of stuff, that extra, those little things? So,
Especially like certification.
there you go. Now they have that. They have a thing today that you get to go to that the Southwind Extension had a. Oh, it was called something about photography, and it was teaching kids how to be a better photographer. So you didn't have time. You were probably too busy with the fair. So there you go. So we kind of have a photographer in our family, and he's learned a lot just listening and watching YouTube videos and stuff. So you don't necessarily have to do things to make money, but because he really does it just because he likes to do it. So, and you'd be surprised on how many people just love to see pictures of things. So sunsets are always good in Kansas, right? Sunsets and sunrises for sure. So anything else you want to talk about before I let you go?
Not much.
Not much. Are you worn out? Are you ready? You sleep well tonight and tomorrow night? And now, when it comes to cleanup, I know they always have cleanup on the schedule on Saturday. Is that one of those things where all the 4-H clubs have to show up and help clean up on Saturday after everything?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, and what kind of cleanup do you guys have to do besides picking up trash?
And you have to clean out the stalls and take all your animals.
So, and so it's not just your area. You usually everybody jump in and kind of help one another so we get done early. So, and that's one of those things you learn through 4-H, so isn't it? Is working together, and it just makes everything a lot easier. Now, will you do FFA when you get in high school?
Definitely, yeah.
And do you have because everybody kind of finds their niche with the FFA on, maybe meat judging or whatever it might be. Do you have a direction you think you're going to go when you get there, or just figure it out when you go?
I think I might just figure out when I go, but I really want to do meat judging.
Yeah. Well, and it's amazing on how many opportunities they are. And we were talking to Gwen earlier, and she was talking about how she, just being part of 4-H, has been able to open some doors for her and for college scholarships and things like that. So definitely something to stick with. Do you think that 4-H and FFA really go hand in hand and make you better at both?
Yeah.
So, and why do you think that? You're just going by some of the things that the older kids have talked about, or why do you think that?
I think it's kind of just the same thing, except you do a lot more handling than you actually judge.
Yep. There you go. So, well, anything else? No? You excited? No? Yeah. Did you guys go tonight with the chicken dinner? Did you guys already eat some chicken dinner? They had, I think, Chicken Mary's, FFA had their chicken dinner in tonight. Did you guys get that, or is Dad going to take you out for supper?
I don't know. I had pudding from my grandma.
Oh, pudding. There you go. Well, was it homemade pudding or just a pudding? Well, if it was homemade, then that's well worth it. So, yeah. Maybe that's something that you start doing some of the baking and cooking, and then you can submit that for the 4-H next year, too. There you go. So, well, and you should learn, if she's a good cook, it's always good to spend time with Grandma, so you learn how to cook and know how to make that kind of stuff. Plus, it'll probably make Dad happy if you know how to make what his mom made. Yeah. Right? There you go. So, all right, we're going to let you go. You want to say anything else, Katie? No? Yeah, she's a lot of words. There you go. Well, thank you for taking time and coming in. We do appreciate that. And we appreciate Avery Lumber for being our sponsor for this half hour. Avery Lumber based there out of Mound City. Give them a call at 913-795-2210. And they do deliveries to all the surrounding areas, even here into Fort Scott. And I was talking to Mike the other day, and he said they're making deliveries almost daily. So if you need something, they can take care of you, even here in town and all the other surrounding areas. And they are your full-line lumber yard there in Mound City. So give them a call. They're locally owned and family-owned. there at Avery Lumber. Thanks again. Stay tuned. We're going to go right from this interview. We're going to take a short break and listen to a song, and then we're going to move on to our next interview. So it's crazy on how fast the fair week goes by, don't you think? Yeah, it does. And I don't even have any of the animals. I just do all of this, and it's crazy busy. So stay tuned to 98.3 FM here at Cowboy Country as we continue our Bourbon County Fair interviews. And this is Dina live from the Merchants Building.